Kia team. Remember me? Remember me, remember this. So this is Expeditions, Mudrunner game. And I did the previous episodes shortly after it came out, which was what, like a year ago? And I did a few things, and then ultimately I quit because I'd sort of had enough. I had a bad day, rage quit, right? So anyway, there you go. So I've gone back onto it, and I've progressed a little further. So you may or may not remember that there was two missions that were really irking me. One was a geophysical mission where I had to take one of the great big earth shaky whatchamacallits. Can we go to the garage from here, or do we have to go? I think I have to go to free roam to go into the garage. Yeah, this thing. So this great big geo thing. I had to take that up a hill, and it was giving me no amount of earache. And the other one was I had to recover the pug. So I ended up recovering the pug, and I ended up finishing this thing. So I've gone back into it, and I've had a look at it, and I've been playing it a little bit, and I suppose, you know, do I feel any better for playing it? And is it a game that I want to play? And I'm sort of umming and ahhing about that. And the other thing is it a game that you want to watch? And this is the Arizona map, and yeah, I think I do want to go there. So we're going to start there. I think there's a couple of things. So I'm on here to go through a little mission with you. So there's a little. It's not a big mission. So it's this dried up gorge thing. So we're going to mark that, and we're going to head off with the old lodestar. That looks pretty steep down there, and that looks pretty steep down there, and that looks pretty steep down there. So I think we're going to have to go around this way. So we'll go around that way, and we'll head off to that. And while we're driving, we'll have a little chin wag, right? And the chin wag that we're having is got the fuel efficiency. That's all excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, so we're going. I think we go around here and then round to the left. So this is the Lodestar, which is my go-to vehicle. Now, I think in part that may be part of the problem. It seems to be that not all the vehicles are very well balanced. You obviously have the three. You have three different grades of vehicle. I don't think I can get to the garage from here now that I've started. But you have I think it's like power, strength, and fuel efficiency or something. And obviously, you know, you're looking. It's like S for, you know, the top rated stuff, and then you've got A, and then you've got B, and then you've got C, right? And it's really a case of I'm not sure that those ratings are like directly comparable between vehicles, because it seems like some vehicles that are A minuses are better than some vehicles that are Bs, and so on. And it might be that there's more things going on with that classification system. So in particular the scout vehicles. So the Pug is a scout vehicle, and it's dreadful. It lacks power, it lacks traction, it's not very robust. It doesn't carry a lot, which is like, yeah, okay, they're not meant to, but so I'm not, which is a surprise, because for a scout vehicle, I would have thought, me being me, I would have thought that out of a scout vehicle, what you might want is, um, what you might want is a vehicle that's fairly robust and fairly maneuverable and fairly able to cope with the tasks that you give it. And it seems an awful lot like the scout vehicles aren't. And this is an off-road truck, and it seems to be incredibly versatile by comparison. So up until this point, because we now find ourselves stuck with this tree, which they didn't put here by accident, right? So we now find ourselves trapped by a tree. We're going off the deep end. So yeah, so I think that's part of my problem. Part of my problem is trying to understand what vehicles work in which situations is actually quite difficult. It's a kind of a trial and error thing, and the problem with trial and error in this is because there's no interim saves, you don't really get much error. An error is just game over. So you may have spent like an hour, 2 hours bashing your way across a map or two maps, and you find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, well, I'm buggered now, so I need to go back and restart it. And one of the things that's quite annoying to gamers in particular is unnecessary repetition. I would say, you know, it certainly is to me. I can tell you that. Right. We're gonna do this. It wants us to go and take some photos. So we're gonna go, and we gotta head off, and we gotta take some photos. There's usually like three sub parts to these tasks or something like that. So we're gonna have to go and do that. So that's probably issue number one. Issue number one is sorting out the vehicles can be quite challenging because you have to buy these things, right? They're not cheap. You can recover some, but that only makes them available. So the pug, I recovered the pug, which made it available to buy, but I still had to buy it. That was $32,000. So I still had to buy the thing. So, and you can go to the store and you can buy it. And there's also downloadable content that gives you access to vehicles you can buy. Now, if you were a skeptic like me, you would say that the downloadable content vehicles are better, and the intention is that the downloadable contents are better. Downloadable content vehicles are better to compel you to part with your hard-earned dollars, right? You know, and maybe that's true. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, and I don't want to look into it because I don't want to part with more of my hard-earned dollars. Thank you very much, than I have done already. So there you go. So it's a bit of a long-winded chat while I'm driving to basically say I'm not convinced that the vehicle standards are something you can wholly rely on, and that's a bit of a problem, right? So that's a bit of a problem. I mean, I guess the other thing is the grind mechanic. So as I've said to you, you know, intentionally there's no save. Now, one imagines that the developer's intention with that is to make sure that you have skin in the game, right, as it were, and kind of make it feel like you can lose everything if you know, so you don't get to like stop and go away and think about things, or you know, have a break. It's like you're here to play or you're not. Now, yeah, okay, there's pluses and minuses to that, I'm sure. It does make it quite hard. It does make it quite annoying, like I've said. I don't know that it necessarily makes the actual game and the act of driving harder than it is or needs to be. I just think it's somewhat annoying, honestly. So there's that. And I think the other thing with like, did I just drive over a box? I think the other thing with like grind games and games that have grind as a mechanic, there's usually like a, you know, like a big boss or a big thing, you know, or there's another box. Where are these boxes coming from? You know, where you have to put in the effort, but then you get like a big prize at the end. You know, or then there's like a big boss fight at the end, and if you beat the boss, you get like, a really cool sword, or a really cool gun, or a really cool piece of armor, or access to a different map, or I don't know, whatever. We gotta take a photo. So we're looking for a little box. It's gonna pop up. There it is. That's that box. Where'd it go? And then we've got R2, L2, and we want to go till it's in the green. And then we've got R1, L1, and we go when it's in the green. And then we take a photo, and it says, "Ta-da! You have taken a photo." Excellent. So we have a photo. Now, because I have done this before and failed, I do know that I've got to get down that gorge. We have got to get down that gorge, and I do know that the maps are very misleading, because it looks like it's not that bad, right? And then you're faced with this, you go, "Japers, that's a bit bad." I think let's have a look. Alright, there's a big rock over there which poses some difficulties. Let's try this way and get into trouble. I don't think I can go that way. It looks like there's a big dead end over there. We could try and winch ourselves down, but I'm kind of conscious that there's a lot of big rocks over there. I think we can go round, maybe. So let's try and go round. So yeah, so what I was saying about bosses is, so there's a grind, you go through the grind, you have to do some repetitive tasks, which in and of themselves, they're not maybe exciting, you don't maybe have a lot of value, the kind of thing where you think, yeah, okay, that's really not something that I see as entertaining. Ah, there we go. We're flipped over. That's alright. I've got one of these. I don't want to be up there. Could we get it in there? Whoosh! Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you do these grindy repetitive tasks, but at the end of such grindy repetitive tasks, you get yourself a prize of some description. There doesn't seem to be that in this game. There's no prize, as it were. It seems to be that you just grind on and grind on and grind on, and there's no, like, what's the big incentive, as it were? Is there a big incentive? Should there be a big incentive? I mean, you might say, the beauty in the game is the game itself. The beauty is the challenge, etc., etc. I guess, if that's the kind of thing that you want to say. I think, how did I get down here last time? Did I go over the edge? I think I don't think I went down there. That's for sure. I might have to pop a rope on and let myself down. Yeah, okay, well I've kind of half started that anyway, so let's get the inventory stuff out. Pop a thing on there, we'll get the device on, we'll hook up with the old wincharoo, and we'll go over here, and we'll let ourselves over the edge. Right, that's one edge. That's one edge! So we're now down here. Let's see, where else can we go? We're heading off over here. And I think oh, it's over on that side. Okay. Yeah, okay. May just be a winch right over the edge again. and we want that, and we want that, and we want that, and that. Alright, over the hedge we go. There we go, that wasn't too tricky. The climb's over there, I can see it. So yeah, so my point is, where is the big prize? It looks like there is a thing over there. I wonder if it's a airdrop, an airdrop. So yeah, that's kind of my beef. So my beef is, it seems very grindy, and while it is very grindy, there doesn't seem to be a reward for that grind. So yeah, there's that. Right, what do we need? We can take all of those, and we can take the fuel and top up our fuel because that's a bit low. And we can't top up that fuel. We don't need to top up parts at the minute, but what we can do is we've taken a bit of damage, so we'll top up that, and we'll top up that, and we'll go back in there and we'll top up there. And not sure if we want to go over that way. If we can back out, I think I'm more inclined to go this way. Thank you very much. Yeah, so there you go. And I don't know. It's entirely up to you. So yeah, so that's the point. So I'm bashing on through here, and like I said, this is not my first attempt at this. I tried this in the Pug. It was a disaster. So you need to do the missions to get the upgrades. So it's this proclivity to the steep learning curve, which, you know, you've probably seen my DayZ. DayZ is also a steep learning curve, but I don't know, there's something very very rewarding about DayZ's learning curve once you've sorted it out. Incredibly frustrating while you're in it, but once you've kind of sorted it out, it's actually very rewarding for some reason. I honestly don't know why, or I don't know how to explain to you why it's rewarding, is probably more accurate. But it is. Wow, we got a long way to go. Conversely, I think I got to turn around, haven't I? Conversely, this game is not very rewarding in terms of its learning curve. At least, I don't think so. I mean, again, experiences may vary. You might disagree with me and say, love it, love the challenge, really hard, you know, get stuck all the time, have to go back, restart. You know, I love the fact that I have to keep redoing the same task again and again, and I have to keep grinding my way through the same bit of map again and again. You know, and then I'll progress a little bit, and then I'll grind on some more, and I'll do the same, and I'll progress a little bit, and I'll progress a little bit, and that's essentially it. And I'm like, well, okay, if that's your jam, that is your jam. I'm not convinced it's my jam. Let's put it like that. Oh, I think I'm probably royally stuck myself here, haven't I? This is the kind of thing I'm not wholly convinced you can get out of too easily. If anything can get out of it, it's the lodestar. Sometimes the choice on where you can actually connect to with the winch is very interesting. Come on, you can do it. Can you do it? Can you do it? I'm wiggling and waggling. Oh, there we go. There we go. We did it eventually. So yeah, if anyone can do it, the lodestar can do it. There's another task up there for something, I'm sure. I think we need to be. Do we need to be on this side? There's a little water gully through there. if we come this way, that has that as a somewhere to build a bridge. Alright, so you can carry around over the top. I do think we probably want to try and avoid going all the way down this gully, but hey, who knows? Let's give it a try. I sort of trust this truck more than I trust any of the others. Although mud is a nightmare. Because you do tend to get stuck in it, obviously. And they put these trees in the way, absolutely deliberately to do that. Because they're evil. These people are evil. See, so look at how quickly I get stuck in the mud. Now I've got excellent mud tires, but I'm still not getting anywhere. So they are mean. They are very mean people, these developers. Try and go across here in the vague hope that we can do that. Slow going. Yeah, so I mean, you know, we're all susceptible to rewards. We will undertake a task, an onerous task, if there's a reward. If there is no reward, then it's hard to want to do an onerous task, right? Because, well, it's onerous. That's the meaning of the word, you know. So it's like, if we don't want to do an onerous task, we don't want to do it. But to get people to do onerous tasks in games, you have to give them a reward at the end of it. You know, and that's the way all games are. I'm just not convinced that this game has the right balance of onerous to reward for me. I feel like I feel like there should be I don't know, I feel like there should be something, and I'm struggling to kind of express what that might be to you. Like, you know, is it upgrades that are easier to get? Is it like, I think you explore the map a lot. There's not a lot in it, you know, in terms of rewards. So there's missions and things, but missions are missions. So you've got all these upgrades and improvements that are gate locked behind missions, as it were. Whereas, you know, free roaming and bashing around is part of the game. But you don't really seem to get a lot of rewards for that. So for just generally being... There's some dinosaur bones. We're just going to drive over the top of those. So maybe it's just cow. So you don't really get a lot of rewards for just being, you know, a rock basher, and you're just the kind of person that likes exploring the map. And I'm in a way, I think I'm one of those people. You know, like if you give me an open world map, you know, like Skyrim or something like that, the first thing I want to do is I want to go off mission and go explore the map, which believe me, has positives and negatives. So there you go. Anyway, why did I drag you in here? I dragged you in here so that we could have this little discussion, so that I could figure out that I need to find my way across this map, which I haven't fully explored. There's an airdrop there. I haven't found any more upgrades sitting on the map. I need to get over there. I might be able to sneak over on this thing. Ooh, just about. Yeah, so my intent is to bring you in here. I wanted to give it another crack and see, you know, was it actually something that I wanted to spend a bit of time doing? And also, is it the kind of thing that you think will make a will make a series. I'm inclined to say I don't think it's going to make a series. And the reason I don't think it's going to make a series is because I just think there's an awful lot of it is so repetitive. And it's not very entertaining to watch. I don't think. It's not very entertaining to do. It's not easy to do. It's quote unquote challenging to do. But something that is challenging is not always entertaining. And that's very much two different things. So there you go. I think, where do I have to go? I have to go round that side. So yeah, I'm going around to my left. So that's why I brought you in. I brought you in to experience this again, to say that, yeah, look, I didn't give up. Not many things I give up on. There are some things I give up on, but there's not many things that I give up on. And I wanted to give this a continued go, and wanted to know if it was something you were interested in seeing. If you're interested in seeing it, that's fine. Hit the like, subscribe, drop in a super thanks, do a whole bunch of stuff in terms of things that you think might encourage me to do more stuff like this, such as adding in comments, etc, etc, etc. And if that is the case, and I see all those things happening and I see all that stuff occurring, then there's a reasonable chance that that I will be able to do it. This is, what the hell is this? How on earth do I get up here? This is not easy. This is not easy, I can tell you. So, how the hell am I meant to get up there? I've literally just finished a game that was incredibly frustrating and infuriating. I'm not really sure. In fact, I did a 2-hour rant on it. So I'm not really sure I want to start another one. It's going to be infuriating and irritating, because I feel like that might be the end of me. Am I a glutton for punishment? Some people might say I am. Oh, tail stand. I'm also kind of always surprised by the fact that the steering on these things, on these vehicles, seems so utterly dreadful. I don't know off-roading from like a hole in the wall, so this might be exactly how off-road trucks handle, but I can tell you these ones, they steer like crap. That much is true. This one's pretty good at getting up rocky slopes, I'll give it that. We'll tackle this one over here, and then we'll do a little bit of a try and sneak around the edge to get to this one. That's not what I meant. See, I actually steered there, but nothing happened. So I find the steering on these things really sketchy. So anyway, here we are. I think this might be the last one, is it? I don't know. I didn't make it this far last time, so I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there you go. So that's it. That's a mission. Great photos. Thank you very much. I get an external rule cage. Dun, 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 dun. So we did a little bit of bashing around. We did a little bit of bashing. We cleared the Arizona map a little bit more. Again, don't see any upgrades. Don't see any upgrades. Don't see any upgrades. You know, there's places we haven't been. There's a big black spot right there where I've not been. You have these, I think question marks are just airdrop. Dollars is a way to make money. so you'll see the ones that are connected when you click on it. So you'll see, I think that you've got two of them. So deliver fuel to a rig and deliver fuel to the second rig. So you have to do that. You've got other things here which are tasks that have set rewards. So I think with these, this one is like we don't know what the reward is. It says it's easy. Show all rewards. So show all rewards is you get another external roll cage. Um, so and a bit of money, and you don't get anything else. So you don't really get a lot. And then you can go and have a look at what was I having a look at? I was having a look at the dollar one. So that was the dollar one. So you have a look at these, which is shooting wild, for example. Um, and it tells you that you need to find an airdrop. So there might be multiple tasks. There's an airdrop. This is through to Wahid Bay. Um, there's the other maps, of course, that you can potentially go to from here. I can't go and have a look at those maps from here, but it does tell me that you can, from the Grand Canyon, get to Coconino and Wahid Bay. And you need to go to Coconino to get to the Sonoran Desert, but I haven't got through there yet. It's locked. So yeah, so there's stuff like that. And you're just doing things and going, well, I'm going to do this, which is a bigger one, which is nearly $20,000. It says it's easy. The other thing I got with these difficulties is these difficulties are bollocks. I've done ones that are listed as being easy that are damn hard, and I've done ones that are hard that are easier than easy. It's like I don't know who sets this difficulty rating or how they're setting it, but it's clearly bollocks. So yeah, I don't know. So you can go and do that. So again, you're doing all of this stuff, and you're getting, what are you getting? Some heavy fenders and a bit of money. It's like, what's that for? It's not really, heavy fenders. They're not going to make it easier for you to get around. You get a bit of money, and that's fine. You go to the garage. So let's have a quick look at the garage. So we'll go back to headquarters. So we'll take our rewards and we'll head back to headquarters, which is fine. And we'll have a look in the garage, and we'll have a look at the truck store. Because that's where things are. So if we go into like customize here, if I want the bigger engine, which is an A plus power, B strength, B plus fuel consumption, why is fuel consumption is higher, right? Okay, I see what it's doing. That's not actually, it's better with power, but it uses more juice. Yeah, well that probably figures. But I have to go to what we stand to lose to unlock that. So I can't do that. Gearbox? Yeah, can't. I need to go and do, a mission to do that. Suspension. Yeah, yeah. Well, that one I can find somewhere. Explore the region. And that one I have to unlock a mission. Tires. Winch. So I want like an advanced winch. That might be around. It says two of those are around somewhere. So I don't know. Maybe you get that as part of the thing. So there are some things that you can go and find. We picked up the roll cage, but this one already had a roll cage, so that's fine. And you have various other things. It says whether they do or do not have crash protection and so on. So a lot of this stuff is locked behind missions. Is my point. The other thing is you go to the truck store. These are the scouts. This one's like B plus A. It's better than that one. But it isn't. I can tell you after having driven it. You want like an A power, I think, and there's none of them. Oh look, DLC. There's a surprise. So you need to get a DLC to get that. That's the best scout, right? There's another good scout. Oh, what do you know? DLC. B plus DLC. Well, that's rubbish. That I don't know about. That doesn't look exactly great. That doesn't look exactly great, and that doesn't look. So the two best scouts are locked behind DLCs. I'm saying nothing. Pathfinder. Oh look, locked behind a DLC. That looks good. The Albatross. Don't know. Looks kind of good. And the Tatra, which everybody likes. That's fine. but I need to attempt to ford the river to get that one. So that one's mission locked. So that's not that bad because that's an A plus, an A, and a B minus. So that's that's a fairly grunty thing. Attempt to ford the river. We'll go and see where that is exactly. Pardon me. In a minute. And then we have these puppies, which I have the Lodestar, which is an A minus, B A minus. Like I've said, pretty good. That's the other one I have, which I haven't actually used, and I haven't used it because it's long wheelbase. It's longer than this. So he's got 2 sets of wheels at the back. He's got 1 set of wheels at the back. So that concerns me that he's so long. There's this sucker, which is the Crocodile, which I think would also be good. It's 80 grand. So I don't have 80 grand. That's fine. The Tuz I have, and although it's A minus, B, A minus, I found it actually to be shit. Its traction is dreadful. It doesn't seem to track well for some strange reason. Another A minus in terms of that, but it's a DLC. You got an A minus again, DLC. DLC, that one looks pretty good. That's Lodestar Off-Road, which is, what is mine? Mine is just the Lodestar. So this is the SE version of the Lodestar. So presumably that's a bit better. Couple of Bs. You got the SE version of the Step. You've got the Tuz SE version. And you have that, which is behind a mission. That, which doesn't seem so good, is behind a mission. I think I've driven the A&K before. The Bandit, behind a mission. One of these weird little Tatras, which is not very good and behind a mission. You got the Warthog, which is also behind a mission. So yeah, so you have all those things, which you know are what they are, I guess. We were looking at what was the one we were looking for? Something of the Ford. And where is that? I don't believe it's on this map. Yeah. No, I don't know where that. Where is that? Is that in the Carpathians? It's not up here. Right, so it's not there. Canab Creek. It's not there. So I don't know where that mission is. So it could be that it's locked behind something somewhere. I've done all those. I can't find it in Arizona. So I don't know where it is. I'm very surprised. So I don't know where it is. Can't find it. Not very sure. It doesn't seem to be here. Because we've done that one. We've completed that expedition, and I don't have that. So that's how I know. So there you go. Anyway, I've waxed lyrical a little bit for a little bit of time, just to let you know that I'm still doing it. If this is something that you think that you would like me to do, then that's fine. Let me know. I'll have a look at it, and I'll crack on. Otherwise, yeah, good luck out there. And I'll see you all again real soon. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the bell notification. If you are feeling up to it, feel free to drop a super thanks. Feel free to check out my membership. Feel free to check out my merch store. Feel free to drop a comment. Feel free to do whatever you like. And I'll see you all again real soon. Ta-ta.